Hi, my name is Dylan and you are watching my channel, America to Japan. And on today's episode, I'm giving you my 5 tips to learn hiragana faster, more efficiently, and easier. Check it out. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. Like I said, these are my 5 tips of how to learn hiragana faster, easier, and more efficiently. So I want to start you off with tip number 1, and I believe this is one of the most fundamental, important parts to base everything off of, and that is learn the sounds of hiragana. And I know this may be daunting at first, but in reality, you need to know the sounds of this. That's the point of learning hiragana, is you are trying to learn the sounds associated with each shape. Hiragana is all of the fundamental sounds within the Japanese language. So you need to be trying to focus on the sound that they make. And you may ask yourself, how do you do this? Personally, I prefer to use listening to music. I prefer using YouTube, for example. I'll get on there and there's a lot of YouTube videos that actually show people speaking out the sounds. At some point, I might actually upload a video like that too, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But use YouTube, listen to music. I have a habit of listening to Japanese podcasts and Japanese news broadcasts, and so you want to expose yourself to that as much as you can. So learning the sounds is going to help you understand the language probably 10 times faster, and it's going to help you pick it up a lot quicker. So I would suggest you try to immerse yourself in the sounds of hiragana as much as possible, and trust me, if you do that, you will recognize it much quicker. My number 2 tip for trying to learn hiragana faster would be writing. Oh my goodness, write it out. When Japanese school children learn hiragana, katakana, and kanji, they literally sit there on a piece of paper and they just write it over and over and over and over and over again. And this kind of relates with tip number 1, because as you write out the kana, you should also be repeating to yourself the sound it makes. For example, the kana that means ah, you should write it out, and then when you're done, say ah. And just do that over and over and over again. Writing it out and associating the sound with the image is going to help you so much faster. I know at first when I've been studying, I tried to make flashcards, and I was looking at the flashcards and I was having such a hard time memorizing the flashcard with the sound. And that was simply because I didn't do anything to memorize the shapes inside my mind. So I found it's a lot easier as you write it out and repeat the sound to yourself. It tremendously helps commit that to memory, as well as each kana, which I'll do another video of this, but each kana you can actually make into shapes and familiar things with the sound to help you memorize it. So for example, you're going to see somewhere on this screen the kana for A, or for ah. And within this kana, you can see the shape A. So when you look for it and you see A, you can associate that with ah. So that kana means ah. And so forth. You go through all the kana and do similar steps. It's going to help you memorize it. But the only way you're going to get there and do that is if you write it over and work on memorizing those shapes for yourself. My 3rd tip to help you learn hiragana faster. Now this is sort of related to hiragana and sort of related to the one I said earlier, but listening to the spoken language. Once again earlier, I said I love to listen to Japanese podcasts and music, and that is super important that I'm actually stating it kind of twice. You need to immerse yourself in the language. A lot of people typically, when they immerse themselves in their language, they're living in that country. I don't have that. I'm an American. I live in America. And unfortunately, I don't get to hear a lot of Japanese people speak in their natural tongue. So I have to go above and beyond to try to immerse myself within the Japanese language and the culture. So that means if I can watch anime subtitled, I watch anime subtitled. If I can watch Japanese newscasts, and I watch Japanese newscasts. I want to hear it spoken naturally. Also, I'm a big fan of Japanese music. There's a lot of good Japanese music out there. A lot of times if I watch anime and there's a song that I like, I look up the lyrics to the song, or I always pay attention to the subtitled lyrics whenever I'm watching like the credits of a anime. There's so many options and routes you should go or could go. So I would definitely suggest to you, try to diversify as much as possible. Listen to females speak it. Listen to children speak it. Listen to, elders speak it. Listen to adults speak it. You want to hear a variety of different accents and age groups speak that language, because you need to train your ears to hear it. If you can begin to recognize hiragana within everyday speech, you're going to be able to pronounce and say things quicker, because like I said earlier, hiragana is all of the natural sounds in the Japanese language. So you have to learn to hear those sounds in order to say words correctly. Otherwise, you may have a conversation with a Japanese person and they're just going to be like, huh? So seriously, try to immerse yourself as much as possible. My fourth tip to help you learn hiragana faster is a very vital one, and that is be consistent and develop a consistent schedule. I struggle with this tremendously. I am always on the go. I work full time. I'm a full-time student, and when I'm not doing those things, I'm filming for YouTube. So I would stress to you, most importantly out of everything, if there's one thing you take away from this video, have a consistent schedule. I typically find myself that on certain days of the week, I love to listen to Japanese music. Then on other days of the week, I find myself sitting in front of a textbook and I read through memorizing the charts with all the kana and all of their sounds on it. I'll spend certain days writing, but you have to have a schedule. It's kind of like when you read a book. If you pick up a book, read a chapter and stop midway through and sit the book down and maybe come back to it after a week, you might have a hard time remembering what's in that chapter, and you might have to go back. And the same thing happens when you pick up a language you don't understand. If you only study it and then put it down and come back 2 to 3 weeks later, you're probably not going to remember it that well. So you need to have a consistent daily schedule, and you need to constantly go over everything you've studied before. I found myself that if I get through, 20 characters of hiragana and I'm introducing myself to 5 new characters, then I review all 20 and then add the 5 to it. I even have flashcards. I'm a big fan of just trying to do everything I can to memorize them. I'll use my flashcards, but I'll put the new ones in with the old ones and mix them up. And that way I can still continue to review the old ones, because sometimes I've had a bad habit of putting the flashcards in a particular order, and I don't want to do that. So I'll mix them all up in a big pile and then I re-review them to make sure that I'm truly learning it, or am I just memorizing the order. And my fifth and final tip to help you learn hiragana faster is to test your knowledge. There's a reason when we were in school, teachers give us tests. It's because it helps us see our progress. I know some popular apps do this. You'll take a test to test your mastery of something, and it tells you the percentage that you have gotten right. Well, you need to do that. Now, most of us are thinking, great, I don't want to take a test. But I know it's a necessary evil. You need to test your knowledge, because if you get only 78% right, that's like learning, the first couple letters of the alphabet, A through C. I bet half of us can't even spell our names with A through C. I know I can't. There's only one letter of my name in there. So, you have to learn 100%. Do not accept anything below 100, because this is the most fundamental building block part of the language. And if you do not get this 100%, you are going to say things wrong. There's going to be words you're not going to be able to say. Not to mention, you're just going to look like a really, really weird person. So I cannot stress to you enough, you seriously need to learn as much as you can and then test yourself on frequent intervals. Throw that in with step number 4 with your consistent schedule, and you will learn hiragana much, much faster. And that's it, guys. Those are my 5 tips to help you learn hiragana quicker. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and leave comments in the section below if you have any questions over anything, or maybe have any suggestions of how you like to learn hiragana faster. Then please leave your comments and suggestions down below. I would love to read them, and I'm sure other people watching this would love to read them too. Also, I just want to remind you guys that right now this is the month of October, and this is in the middle of my subscriber challenge, and I really want to ask you guys, please, if you're watching this video, you enjoy it, check out some of my other videos, but most importantly, please hit the subscribe button. By you hitting that subscribe button, you help support my channel and you help give me more tools in order to continue to bring you awesome content. I appreciate you guys. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are awesome. Seriously, I just cannot stress that enough. You guys rock. So thank you so much. Please subscribe, follow, share these videos, and just remember, you guys rock. Have a great one.